Hello and welcome to my channel. I'm Fornax, and today, thanks to the kindness and generosity of my patrons, we're going to be diving into some Guild Wars 2 news with a bit of a Charr story speculation tagged on the end because, well, I just couldn't resist. So let's dive into it, starting with the elephant in the room: service shutdown and rollbacks. But we can all rejoice now. Tyria has returned. At 12:38 PM on the 11th of May, ArenaNet posted this on the official forums. Thank you for your patience. Maintenance has concluded and you should be able to log back into Guild Wars 2 on EU servers again. As part of the fix, we have restored all EU player accounts to their standing at roughly 2:40 AM Pacific time on the 11th of May. We're continuing to help players who are still missing items and who made gem purchases or in-game transactions after that point. Please check your account carefully, and if you find that you are still missing items and account progress, submit a ticket and customer support will help you as soon as possible. We apologise for the frustration and inconvenience this incident caused and are exploring ways to make up the downtime to our player community. Links below to their post. Now, for new players out there, please know this kind of thing is vanishingly rare, and that Shaman estimated the rollback lost him around 15 minutes of game time, so do let me know how you fared during the shutdown and rollbacks in the comments below. I will keep an eye on the forums to see how item returns go, and we'll circle back to this again in a few weeks to see how things have went. But before we move on, I want to show some appreciation to all the devs who worked to resolve this issue. This would be incredibly difficult under normal circumstances, and well, I think we could all agree that the times we are living through are anything but normal, so much love and thanks to you all. Okay, so on to some more good news, because we have a new content patch coming out on the 26th of May. No Quarter is the third installment of the Icebrood saga and sees Bangar Ruinbringers Dominion forces led by the Steel Warband face off against the United Legions of the Charr and their pals on a new meta map, Drizzlewood Coast, the location of which that Shaman tweeted out shortly after the announcement. Now, of course, this location is speculation, but you know the dancing Charr is rarely wrong. Links to his tweet on the matter below. No Quarter brings with it a new Mastery United Legions Waystation synchronization. Say that 3 times fast. It brings a new strike mission, Cold War, new Tengu and Stormcaller weapons. It brings a new emote to unlock, Play Dead, and this is a absolute must-have for my personal gameplay style, as well as new weapons, skins, armor sets, and helms, which includes a new Norn Shaman-inspired armor set, which I sincerely hope is easier to unlock than the last one. Once No Quarter lands, you will see a showcase of all these lovely bits of loot and whatever bits and bobs else they include on the channel for sure. Now, if you are a collector of mount skins, ArenaNet have released the Curious Creatures collection, which includes for Raptors the Arcturus Sprinter and the Bioluminescent Raptor. Springers get the Vital Geodel, or however you pronounce that. Skimmers get the Volcanic Ray, Jackals, the Dark Mist Moorhound, and the Sleek Dune Runner. Griffins see the Gandharan Warhawk and the Lithosol. For roller beetles, you have the Luminous Roller and the Awakened Roller Beetle. The Awakened one is particularly cute. Sky Scales, there is the Moth Mart Sky Scale, the Frost Soul Sky Scale, and the Venomous Great Horn. And not to forget our World v World mount, Warcore owners can unlock the Vigilant Saberclaw and the Exalted Mists Champion. Now, there are a few puppies I would love to unlock, but I am going to have to do some serious gold farming before I dive in for sure. Now, I would love to see a few new shiny skins unlocked via gameplay. That would be lovely, but I understand cosmetics form a part of their funding model, so I'm not going to complain too much about these puppies. Now, for art fans, and I know that there are many in our community, ArenaNet has released a new art book, The Complete Art of Guild Wars. Now, this happened on the 30th of April, but, well, it went completely under my radar. I can't imagine what's happening in the world that I missed it. It's available in ebook and hardcover formats, and I, for one, will be spending a penny or two on this beauty. Now, if you would like to see a review of the book on the channel, let me know below. It could be fun to marry the concept art to the actual in-game assets and locations. If there are enough comments below, I will make it so. So in general, I think No Quarter is pretty much what we were promised at the end of March in the Visions of the Past episode, Charr Civil War. So let's trip the light fantastic and dive into some Charr lore, because this is not the first time players will have encountered Charr in fighting. The Fields of Ruin host the Charr Renegades, an insurgent faction determined to shatter the fragile peace so hard won by both the Krytan Crown and the leaders of the High Legions. Well, most of the leaders anyway. To be sure, there is much Charr-on-Charr action to be found throughout all the Legion lands, but I think most notable is Fireheart Rise, home to the Flame Legion, and although a great number of this ostracised group have rejoined the High Legions, that mini-civil war has raged for centuries, and flare-ups are likely during their reintegration into Charr society. What that society will look like at the end of the Iceboot saga, however, is anyone's guess, because it's not just Ruinbringer's actions that will shape the future of this already divided people. The introduction of the Ulmakan in Season 4 of The Living World could well have consequences reaching far beyond their small narrative footprint. In fact, they could have a greater and longer-lasting impact than this new war. The history of the Charr is a chronicle of a people at war with themselves, as well, anyone else unfortunate enough to cross their collective path. Links above to my deep dive lore history on this wonderful race. Here is a bit of a TLDR rundown for you with some future speculation too. So it was not until the rise of the first Khan, or think Genghis Khan or Alexander the Great, who through a sustained campaign of ruthless conquest brought the disparate clans under his control. This one-nation Charrism, however, did not outlive the Khan himself, and with his untimely death, the nations were basically carved up between the Khan's sons into the great High Legions we see today. War is a way of life for the Charr. The enemy matters not. So I would argue this new conflict will have little cultural impact beyond the political machinations of the elites. The Ulmakan, on the other hand, represent a far greater threat to Charr society, or perhaps opportunity is a better characterization. The Ulmakan are peaceful, having abandoned the warrior cult caste system of the legions to live in isolation, but it is not just their altruistic ways which sets them apart from other Charr. They raise their young in family units instead of sending them to the Farah to be raised/brutalized by the legion. They live off the land in balance with nature, hunting, farming, fishing. They have embraced the taboo magical arts of healing and elementalism. You see, the Ulmakan may have begun life as a warband fleeing Scorch Razor's rebellion, but they have grown and evolved into a unique people, with a paradigm-shifting ethos that could be more destabilizing to the Charr hierarchy than any war, civil or otherwise. To a Charr who has only ever known the cruelty of the militaristic legions, the Ulmakan are proof there is another way. They embody the promise of a better world for all who have long suffered under the tyranny of the legions, because, make no mistake, tyrannical is the correct word to describe the High Legions. You are a soldier or you are nothing, and if you outlive your warband or leave it, or leave the legions, you are ridiculed, you are shunned, you are shamed. With the rise of the Orders of Tyria, the stigma has lessened over the years, but there are still huge social and judicial consequences for taking a different path. When the fog of war clears and peace is finally won, the legions might well be unrecognizable, and perhaps for the better. Lest we forget, the only reason the High Legions are not making war against humanity, and everybody else for that matter, is the Dragon Rising. And unless something changes, the next expansion following the fall of the Elder Dragons could well see the Charr as the next big bad. Now that could be admittedly awesome, but to be honest, I have a rather soft spot for the Charr, and I would be sad to see the Black Citadel in ruins. So that's my Guild Wars 2 news, updates, speculation, lore meander. I hope you enjoyed it. Do let me know what you're looking forward to most in the next Icebrood Saga episode below. And whilst you're down there, please do like this video if indeed you did like it. Share it if the spirits of the wild move you. Subscribe and ring that bell if you think I've earned it. And please do show some love to Cody, Kildare, Cub, Molini, Jolly Joe Star, Dark Griever, and all my wonderful, fantabulous Patreons, without whom I would be unable to dedicate the time and resources I do to my content creation. I can never thank them all enough. If you would like to join my merry band of awesomeness, there are links to my Patreon page below. And if you feel inspired to jump into Guild Wars 2, there are referral links down there as well to the free-to-play game and the Path of Fire expansion, which now includes the Heart of Thorns expansion too, thanks to the generosity of ArenaNet and their partner program, of whom I am a proud affiliate. Using any of these referrals directly supports my channel, but costs you not a penny more. Now I hope you will come back and join me for more Guild Wars 2 goodness very soon. But until then, stay safe, stay awesome, and game on.